you got a job.
For the earth and all living things, Sandy Pug is gonna let you live new lives. How? Well, it's funny you should ask. Let me explain it to you. Hey, I'm a squirrel in a cyberpunk world. It's fun for your boys and your MPs and your girls. I'm just working delivery. Solving these mysteries. My homie is a frog and accomplice is lizard. They hear me, please. You wanna die and come back as a spider? Now's the time, thanks to Sandy Pug's writers. Arachnid assassin class, I play my position. Completing these missions until somebody's squishing. God forbid the baboon too should bite it. I'm a gun-lugging llama with a guard dog sidekick.
Hey everyone, I'm Liam. I'm from Sandy Pug Games. You may remember us from Americana or Orc Stabber or one of our other cool projects. I'm here today to talk to you about Disposable Heroes. It's our latest game. Disposable Heroes is a game set in a fantasy future world. We call it Neo Francisco. Imagine Jet Set Radio or Big Hero 6, but with fantasy elements. So you've got dragon roosts covered in slick neon or lich pyramids hanging silently upside down over the enormous shopping mall downtown, that sort of thing. In this setting, you play as package delivery people employed by an app known as Disposable Heroes. These heroes, quote unquote, are not veteran adventurers or anything. They're really just trying to get they're trying to get paid. They're trying to get 5 stars, they're trying to make sure they don't get fired from the app, and that's really it. So you've got kind of a different dynamic than most role-playing games already. You're not trying to break into a dungeon to defeat a big final boss. You're really just trying to get the package to them safely, which I think makes it some pretty interesting gameplay. But in addition to the setting, we use a modified system called Powered by the Apocalypse, which all of you may already be familiar about. Powered by the Apocalypse is a really slick narrative-first system that uses 2d6 and varying degrees of success to kind of create this really, really cool, really fast-paced, really, in my feeling, visceral experience. But the modifications that we've done to the system is where the real juice is. You see, in Powered by the Apocalypse, and in most role-playing games, you have a character sheet, right? Not in Disposable Heroes. In Disposable Heroes, you have a deck of cards. Every game starts with this. At the beginning of the game, you'll be dealt 1 card, or more, depending on how many of you there are. But you get 1 card, and on this card is a character with a name, a class, an ability, stats, and a weapon. A couple of other things too. This is your character. This is your set of tools that you're going to use to try to solve the dungeon or deal with whatever the problem is. And the trick is, though, that they're just some person. They're not a veteran hero, like I said before. They are probably going to die. So 1 hit and you're dead. That's not a problem. When you die, discard the card and draw a new one. And now you've got an entirely new character. New abilities, a new weapon, new set of skills, all that. This makes for a really, really cool experience where instead of building up one character through a bunch of different sessions and earning XP and everything else, you're constantly having to rethink your strategies and readapt to a new kind of playing a game. 1 minute you might be a frontline fighter, the next minute you might be a support wizard, the next minute you might be, a ranged shooter, the next minute you might be a completely wacky thing like the Dream Tamer who goes into people's dreams and messes around with them, or something like that. Really, really cool stuff. Each card also comes with some really, really, really cool artwork from the lead artist and designer, Ren. So check that out. We've got some examples down there in the Kickstarter. Each character also has an animal's ability. How that works out is kind of up to your own table, but it does mean that in addition to being a paladin, you're a crocodile, which is cool and fun and adds a whole other layer of abilities to the whole mix. 1 minute you might be a flying creature, the next minute you might be an aquatic creature. It's fun to mess around with. Each card comes with artwork, thanks to the lead artist and designer Ren, And in addition to their work, we're hoping to get some cool guest artists on the project. These guest artists have a variety of really cool styles. There's 5 of them in total. You can learn a little bit more about them down there. If we hit all of our stretch goals, we'll add another 25 cards to our deck, which begins at 60. So if you want a whole bunch of characters, go check that out and see if you can help us hit those goals. A couple of other cool things about the game. It's basically the perfect one-on-one role-playing game, which is something that I'm really excited about. If you have one other person, one of you can be the GM, and the other person actually just plays with a hand of characters, much like a deck builder almost. A lot of the characters have abilities that mess around with the deck in really interesting ways. We've got a fire mage that burns characters from the deck. We've got a chef that allows you to discard cards to draw new ones. All that kind of cool stuff, you know what I mean? So it's just a really fun way of integrating the two sort of sides of things, both the RPG and the card game stuff. That's about it. I hope this has gotten you pretty revved up for the game. I'm really excited for it. The whole team over at Tabletop Games is really hyped for it. I think we've really got something special on our hands here, something that maybe does something that you haven't seen before. Just go ahead and check out the campaign down there. There's some downloads to a free version of the game that's kind of a partial thing. We've got some really cool backing tiers that you can take a look at. We've got, you know, everything from get a copy of the game, getting a signed copy of the game. I'll make sure that that gets signed by Pumba too. I know that that's a big draw for a lot of you folks. And also we've got the usual kind of make a character, name a character, that kind of thing. If you want to give us a little bit more money, or if you want to be, you know, immortalized in this card game that we're making, go ahead and check those out too. We're really excited to hear from you, and I'll see you later.